Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm ChimereNicole and it is bright and early, but I decided I wanted to do a full day of eating for you guys to show you what I'm going to be eating. And yeah, I'm all natural, but this will probably be the only time you see my face for this video. So take a good look. But no, seriously guys, I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be eating for the day so that you can kind of get an idea of how much I'm consuming, and I'll give you some tips throughout the video just so that we can kind of stay on track and you can see some of the small changes that I like to do that help to equate to big results. So let's start. Next, I'm going to be starting with my favorite snack. I like to eat this in place of potato chips and candy. For me, it just works. So I like to cut up cucumbers. Typically, I like to use English cucumbers, but unfortunately, my grocery store did not have any. So these were the next best thing, and they worked out perfectly. I just cut up a ton of cucumbers. I put them in this bowl, and I used distilled vinegar. And of course, I have to pour a little bit of vinegar for my homies who not here. And then I just put those in the refrigerator, and I like for them there to be cold. And I pop those, throughout the day when I just want a snack. Really good, really quick and efficient. One of my goals for the new year is to get more greens into my diet. And so for me, that comes in the form of supplementation. So I'm going to be using this green powder smoothie. This is just a greens blend. I got this from the vitamin shop, and one scoop of this is about 3 servings of vegetables. So I actually have to blow into my straw so that it doesn't get a clog. Pause. And then I just drink it really fast so that it doesn't get too thick. Ooh, pause. And I just drink it whole. Now it is time for breakfast. The girls are here with me on this day because they are out of school on break. So I'm making breakfast for everybody. So the girls wanted boiled eggs, so I decided that would be a good thing for me too. And then because they were upstairs fighting and I had to break up a fight, Chimere burnt their bacon, and they looked at me like, we are not eating that. But I don't waste food in this house. So I had 2 boiled eggs and I had the burnt bacon, and we called it a morning. That was my breakfast. So now we're going to jump into lunch. And in my previous video, I went to the grocery store and I showed you all of the things I was going to be using on this challenge. And I also showed you how I made these collard greens. So I'm going to be eating this for lunch. And I do have some smoked turkey bones in here. And it's a really good source of nutrients, and it also has protein in it. But you can't have collard greens without hot sauce. So I am going to be adding some hot sauce to this as well. And the turkey was so tender and juicy. Chef's kiss. Right after lunch, I got started on my dinner, and I knew I wanted to do some marinated chicken. So I just cut up the chicken breast and got that started. So I'm going to be cutting up this chicken breast in cubes because it makes it easier to cook down and it makes everything faster. I'm going to be putting it inside this bowl. And then I'm going to be using one of my favorite marinades. I love anything spicy. So the marinade I'm going to be using is this jerk marinade. I'm going to show you in a few minutes. They come in mild and it comes in spicy. Mild is still very spicy. So if you're not into spice, be careful. I also like to add onion powder and a little bit of garlic powder because you have to add that to everything in every recipe. And I'm going to mix this up really good and put this in the refrigerator until it's time for me to cook. Now at this point, your girl was getting hungry, so I went and got me some cucumbers out the refrigerator. I would probably say this is about a good solid cup of cucumbers. Cucumbers are essentially all water, so this is one of those foods you can kind of eat a lot of it, and it really doesn't equate to a lot of calories, but it does keep you full, and it is full of fiber. So I'm going to also start with our asparagus. I hear a lot of people don't like asparagus. I personally happen to love it. I just drink a lot of water, and I should have mentioned that earlier. I drink a lot of water throughout the day because there are times that I don't get a chance to eat at work, so water is my best friend. I'm just going to wipe off the excess water on top of the asparagus, and I'm going in with a little bit of olive oil and some pink Himalayan salt. I don't traditionally use table salt. Pink Himalayan salt has better nutrients and health benefits. I'm also going to be going in with lemon because lemon is also my best friend. I love it. And this asparagus is going to be going inside of the oven. And I am definitely Carrie Mae's granddaughter. That is my grandmother. And I reuse everything. So I'm taking a little bit of aluminum foil, even though I'm using an aluminum pan. And this is going to be going inside of the oven for about 20 minutes on 400. And again, I love lemon, so I'm putting lemon on top of the asparagus. And I'm taking the remainder of that lemon to zest. I just love lemon flavor. The kids happen to love it as well. So that's what we're going to be doing. And now that that's in the oven, we're going to get started on our rice. I happen to love basmati rice. I just feel like I don't know. I really can't explain it, but this is just my preference. I think after I started to eat Indian food, this became my preference over other types of rice. And so that's what we're going to be using. I do want to let you guys know, it is very important that you rinse off your rice. Clean your rice. I like to use this shifter. This has become like my go-to now because it just makes it so much easier for me to clean my rice. I rinse it until the water is clear, and then we put it inside of the pot to boil. Also, typically I'm using chicken stock or some type of broth, but because I did not have any, the chicken bouillon was my next best thing. So I'm going to be taking a cube of chicken bouillon to put inside of my rice just to give it a little more seasoning, and my kids also prefer this as well. And now we can get started with that marinated chicken. I'm just using a little bit of vegetable oil in my pot so that my chicken doesn't stick, and I'm going to move that around to heat that pot up. And we are going to pan sear the chicken. This is very, very easy and quick. This is one of my go-to meals. I'm going to let that brown a little bit before I put the lid on so that it can get nice and tender. And as you can see, it creates its own juice inside of the pan, which goes really good with that white rice. And our white rice is nice and fluffy the way that I like it. And this is the finished product, you guys. It was so simple. It literally took me about 15 to 20 minutes start to finish. I am using a half a cup of rice, some chicken, some asparagus, and that is it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.